Good evening from London, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are listening to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. Your one-stop shop for professional wrestling, insight, news, and reviews on a daily basis. And today, it's Friday, and you know what that means. It means it's time to talk about this weekend in wrestling, which is very notably missing an episode of AEW Collision. We're also going to begin Roman Reigns and The Rock together on Friday Night SmackDown tonight. I'm excited. I think every wrestling fan is excited. But before that, we've got to do this show, and we've got a really exciting show for you guys, and I'm excited for this. Let me introduce first the co-host of the show, Clark Taylor. How are you, Clark?
I am stoked to be here. I'm stoked to be on the other end of the microphone today. I've been hosting for the last 3 days. Happy Valentine's Day to you and Melissa, Ben. No question. Dude, I'm stoked to get into it. I mean, is Rocky Maivia coming back tonight? I'd love to see it with the tassels and everything. We can get some Rocky sucks chants for real. That might be delightful. I don't know. I'm excited to talk about it, though. We got Elimination Chamber coming up, and it's deep in the heart of Mania season, AEW. No Collision, but we'll get Collision back next Saturday, and that's all good. I can't wait to talk about it.
Absolutely, I do agree there. It's going to be an exciting one for sure. Skylar's SSX has sent in a comment. Ben Allison is still watching AEW. I mean, well, I can't be today.
I don't think he actually stopped.
There's not on. I don't know. That was.
I don't remember a time in which he stopped.
It's double L. Trends Vandross is saying, I never really got into AEW. How good is it? Well, if you listen to our show, some stuff is great, some stuff isn't. Give it a watch, though, because, all wrestling's fun to check out. My recommendation, start with a Dynamite or even a pay-per-view, because those are the best stuff. That one is for sure. But also joining us today, we have the host of Take It to the Table, which, by the way, a new episode is now out on the Wrestling Republic YouTube channel, so check that out after this. And that man is Chaos. How are you, Chaos?
What's good? Happy Friday, everybody. Glad to be here on this Friday episode of The Daily Show. And also in a rebuttal to Clark saying about, well, we're going to get Rocky Maivia with the tassels. I hope we don't get that. I want to at least see fanny pack Rock with the all black. That's what I want to see. I want to see him and maybe a makeshift high top and what you know I'm going for.
Yes,
that's
I know
where you're going. That's true heel Rock right there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode. Looking forward to SmackDown. Looking forward to Collision. Oh wait a minute. But yeah, let's get into it, shall we?
Absolutely, and last but certainly not least, it is the man who's got a cousin, a controversial cousin, but that cousin, well, he's not here right now, but this man is Carter Crisp. How are you today?
Ben, I'm doing good. To all you non-AEW watchers, it's great. Watch Dynamite. It's good. I'm not going to say it's better or worse than any other wrestling. I'm just going to say it's good. We're excited to talk about it. We love all wrestling here. We got the UFC in Anaheim this weekend, and I'm ready to talk wrestling.
Yes.
Absolutely. No, it is an exciting weekend in combat sports for sure. More so, to be honest with you, in MMA this weekend. But that's not what we're going to talk about today, because we've got a lot of things to talk about. And let's kick things off. Not with AEW Collision, actually, Clark, because I have a question for you. And that question is, do you know it or do you not?
Oh, it's quiz time?
It is. It's quiz time. Do you know it or do you not?
Maybe.
Edge Edition. You have 45 seconds starting now. What was his original ring name?
I don't know that one. Go next.
What year did he win his first WWE Championship?
That would be 1999.
Incorrect. 2006. What WCW singles
WWE
title
I thought you meant
did he
titles.
win
period.
first?
Keep going. WWE singles title did he win? first?
WCW singles title did he win?
WCW Edge. He wasn't in WCW.
Yeah, but he won a
Oh, dear.
WCW title.
Oh, are you talking about the television title?
Nope.
United States.
United States
Yeah,
Championship.
there you go.
Who did he face in a hair versus hair match?
Kurt Angle.
Correct. What year did he retire?
Originally,
No.
Time's up.
2011.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I will give it to you. You went over the time a bit, but I'll give it to you. Chaos is breaking up.
I'm laughing though, like the
Originally?
questions. Well, I mean, he's not retired now. He's actively wrestling.
Exactly. When did he retire? It's obvious. He's only had one retirement.
Hopefully not yesterday.
Oh god, that is hilarious. Yeah, how could you not know the original name? Was it his first name Sexton Hardcastle?
Yeah, bang on.
Yeah.
Bang on.
To be honest, I knew it was something like that. I blanked out of the gates on. I knew it was a funny one.
And please, I want to be the next one whenever you do this. I want to be.
Yeah,
the
you gotta
I wanna be the
Absolutely.
show. God damn, that was hilarious. Unlucky Clark, but good try.
Got
It
him.
was good.
Got him.
Whatever, man.
I don't know. I think you equaled your total from last time. But
You got two.
oh, you got two. Okay, then one you didn't. I think you might have had three. I think you had three.
If you
today.
count the U.S. title one, I got 3. I think.
No, I didn't.
But
count
I messed
But
that
that
up.
one, there's an interesting
I don't
one. He
even
held that
remember
as
the
the
WCW.
WCW.
Well, and
He
when
held it while it was the WCW
Well,
United
so
States
here's what's
Championship.
interesting. When you said the WWE Championship thing, I thought you meant like titles, period, in WWE. So I was thinking tag team titles in '99. That one killed me because, I mean, realistically, like I would have known 06 for the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
My head read it as like his first time holding a belt
Yeah.
in the WWE.
No, it will throw you off. But for future notice, for anybody who's on the quiz show, I'll say what WWE title did he win first, or something like that.
Got
I
it.
won't.
It's not
word
your
it the same
fault.
way.
Honestly, it was me. As soon as I gave the answer and you were like 06, I was like, I answered the wrong question. Like that's
Anyway,
on me.
let's jump straight into AEW Collision, or lack thereof, because it's been cancelled for this week. Now, it's been cancelled because I'm not, other than the NFL, I'm not an American sports fan. I'm not an expert, but something to do with the NWA All-Star Weekend, a big deal apparently. So I understand why it's been cancelled.
Not the NWA, the NBA.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like NWA.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. See, I'm too much of a wrestling fan.
You're good. You're good.
Oh,
We're gonna see Nick
Oh,
Aldis.
by
Well, he's not
James
there anymore.
Mitchell.
We'll see Nick Aldis playing some
The National
basketball, shooting some
Wrestling
hoops.
Alliance is putting on a show. So
2 stars in the
side.
top.
Hosted by James Mitchell, definitely. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to.
But anyway, most TV shows, most wrestling TV shows, when something big is on, get moved. That's nothing new. But this didn't get moved. It just got cancelled for the week. And I think that tells you to a degree what Warner, think of it. They don't think of it as this needs to be on every week, but just it's nice if it is on, gives us some content, but it's not, of the utmost importance to us. And heading into, a TV negotiation, that's not a great sign, is it? But listen, I'll let you all in on a little secret behind the scenes here at Wrestling Republic. Whenever we've posted anything AEW Collision related over the past 2 months, whether it's a review, whether it's a review post, whether it's an episode of the podcast, whether it's just a general post, whether it's an Allison analysis, anything, it is our worst performing show, win site wise, we do. By far. TNA gets more views than it for us, and more likes and more engagement. If you could not imagine that 6 months ago, when CM Punk started that show, and even when CM Punk left it, it just feels like everything on that show right now is good. Like, it's not bad, it's good, it's entertaining, but just none of it feels that important, to put it bluntly. Not many important things are happening on it, and it's beginning to fall into the Rampage trap once again. Rampage, more than not, it's a good show, but they don't book important things on it because nobody really watches it. And now they're doing the same with Collision, so therefore there'll be no incentive for people to watch it other than there's some good wrestling. And Rampage, I understand it. Collision, don't fall into that trap. Go, put big storylines on it. Will, the Dynamite size audience see it? No, but do it anyway, because if you want to save that show, if you want, people to tune in, you're going to need to start having to do some big stuff on it. Because, I mean, right now, it's just felt flat. That's the truth behind it. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's just, it's decent. Last Weekend Wrestling is saying, I wouldn't say it's dying slowly, but I would say that they have some things they need to fix. And of course, I do agree, but at the same time, I think it is kind of dying slowly, but I think they can resuscitate it. But they're going to need to try because insight-wise, like I said for us, but even on their social medias, it's dropped drastically. Clark, what's your thoughts on it?
So I understand all of the stuff you said about AEW Collision, but canceling it due to not the National Wrestling Alliance's All-Star Game, but the National Basketball Association's All-Star Game is completely sensible considering the NBA outside of the NFL is the second most popular sports organization in the United States. And it is also outside of basically professional wrestling, the most star driven. You have smaller rosters than almost any other sport. And All-Star Weekend is always a huge deal. Another insight I can give on this one is you look at Saturday, All-Star Saturday generally does better than the actual game itself on Sunday. So Saturday night, they do the 3-point shooting contest, the skills competition, the dunk contest. You always have a headliner like it's the Super Bowl halftime show. Could be Rihanna, Usher. It could be, right? I mean, big names no matter what. It is a gigantic event, especially Saturday night. All the celebrities are around courtside. It's tension in America on the NBA All-Star Weekend, especially All-Star Saturday. It starts with the futures game, then the celebrities game, then it's the skills comp, then it's the 3-point contest, and then the cherry on top, the dunk contest, my personal favorite. I've always loved the slam dunk contest. It's great. But I understand the cancellation there. Now, do the other issues you mentioned about Collision still matter? Of course. Has it been a tough run? Yes. I do also think part of it is the time slot. This is something we've discussed often. Yeah. And
well, they chose that time slot.
They negotiated with the network that time slot. It's not like the network said, which time slot would you like? Because
but it doesn't make sense how you lose 2/3 of the audience based on the time slot, though. If I'm on about like the audience that they had at the start of the show, they've lost 2/3 of it.
Premiere shows often lose audience. That is industry standard there. I will say 2/3 is quite a bit consistently. I get that. Well, except for that, for the last time, if you're looking at a network premiere, I would say that Impact Wrestling on Spike TV in the mid 2000s probably lost more than 2/3 of their audience before they got canceled. WWE probably at times after Raw debuted network-wise in the early 90s, generally the audience fluctuated. In fact, it fluctuated to a point where they were actually the second. For 83 weeks, Eric Bischoff lets us know about it all the time. For 83 weeks, they were actually second. That happened.
But Dynamite didn't lose 2/3 of its audience 3 years.
Well, it hasn't because it's in a better
9
time
months
slot.
And
that's my point exactly. It's in a better time slot. Weather the storm here. You're in a tough time. College football is over now. NFL is over. You get through All-Star Weekend. We're looking at a fresh summer. And then I think you maybe move the show to a different night. If I was going to suggest tonight, Wednesday, Thursday is a big ask. Thursday does make a lot of sense. But if I was going to ask for anything else, why not go back after WWE and go on Tuesday? See how that number jumps. Go, hey, wait a minute. Remember when it was the Wednesday Night Wars? We'll see you on Tuesday. And that's, from a marketing standpoint, I think the direction you would have to go to improve it. And I'm spitballing here, right? I'm a fan of both products. I'm a fan of AEW. I'm a fan of the WWE. But I don't want to over criticize the shot that AEW took going after a Saturday Night Wrestling thing, because Saturday Night's Main Event is one of the most iconic brands in the history of professional wrestling, and nostalgia is there. Did it work? No. But we can't always just focus on the failures, because as a startup, we're looking at a completely different set of rules, different mindset as far as marketing and execution and creativity are concerned than WWE is operating under. They need to throw stuff at the wall occasionally and let it fail to learn. And I think
true.
This is something where if Collision moves to a better time slot on a different day, I suggested the Tuesday night thing. I think Thursday makes sense as well, but back-to-back days, it's on both ends of that. That makes things more difficult. Maybe Friday night instead of Rampage, and move Rampage to Saturday. Make the Saturday show an hour.
Oh, so you're saying a 2-hour show?
It's just a suggestion. I'm not saying it would work. I say
4 hours of wrestling.
It is 4 because of SmackDown. That's the issue, and that's why I think the only logical move is NXT go head to head with NXT again, especially given all the new deals.
I'd say Thursday
or Thursday, either or. Those are the two that I would focus on.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we'll say is Tuesday Night Wars, whatever, that would get the internet, riled up. So it would do that. Good for publicity, but long term, would it work when you're splitting the audience? Who knows? Maybe it's a separate audience. But we got Bobby Petito in the chat. We got Coach 23 in the chat. Shout out to you. He's saying that Collision sadly became Dynamite light. Weekends are great for pay-per-views and specials. However, the weekly shows are a death knell for wrestling. And Ignacio, shout out Ignacio. He'll be back on the show next week. He's saying they lost their audience because the only star they had is CM Punk and he's gone.
That's funny.
I don't agree with that.
Monster shout out Ignacio, though.
Absolutely, monster shout out. Chaos, you know Ignacio very well, but what I want to know very well is your thoughts on AEW Collision.
I'm pretty much on board with what you said beforehand in terms of the viewership and just the important. They just don't put enough importance on it, and I agree that sure there is some good matches, and I've heard there's good matches, but that's still not enough for me to sacrifice 2 hours or an hour and 40 minutes of my time to go and see it. There's not enough. But there's definitely more focus on Dynamite, and then things just kind of trickle through into Rampage maybe, and then they might try and forward it to Collision. But this kind of stuff kind of brings back that conversation of maybe a potential hard brand split to make it feel more unique, and because why would I want to see Bryan Danielson or Claudio on Collision doing a random match when I just saw them on Dynamite, when I know that there's more significance in what they're doing on Dynamite is going to be more important than whatever they're doing on Collision, if that makes sense. So that does bring that conversation of a potential brand split in order to revitalize the importance of all those shows. Do I rank it higher than Rampage? I still do, 110%. I still think Collision is definitely a bit more better quality wise than Rampage, but moving it on to I think one thing was you or Clark said to move it on Thursdays, but that might be overkill because it's back-to-back shows with Dynamite and Collision. I mean, you got Monday Night Raw on Monday and you got NXT on Tuesday. No one complains about that. That's you watch both of them.
True, very true, very true.
So I don't think that if they really wanted to, and they put some significant importance to it, people will definitely tune in. There was some skepticism about obviously being on the Saturday that might sour numbers because obviously it's a weekend and whatnot. But it's just I think probably a hard brand split will probably be the answer, and see if that might make people tune in. I think.
Yeah, and Coach 23's got a good point about obviously it is the networks. You ultimately choose the days, but the really good point he makes is that NBA's I mean, do they still have NBA Clark on TBS or TNT?
So that has been a strongly negotiated subject. At the time of the contracts being signed for Collision and Dynamite, NBA on TNT was the premium brand. That's their biggest sports brand, right? Charles Barkley, the amount of pay they have for Barkley and Shaq and Ernie Johnson and Kenny the Jet Smith on that show is astronomical, right? It's for the highest paid sports
Yeah.
broadcasters in the entire business. That show is as big as the game itself. Is the irony of it?
Is it still there now?
And so it is, but it's been kind of reworked where they actually don't work as many Tuesday night games as they did previously.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's interesting. Maybe that'll be like Tuesday night. Maybe it won't. But that is a good point, Coach 23. And thank you for clarifying that, Clark, as well. Because like I said, American sports, unless it's got a link to wrestling, I don't know. I don't know other than the NFL. Carter, I want to hear your perspective. You're obviously an AEW guy, but is Collision kind of getting a little bit mid?
Now, Ben, I apologize in advance for marking out here. Now, I know money matters to you guys, ratings matter to you guys, but only two things matter to me, and that's the cage match rating and Dave Meltzer's star rating. And who's putting on the most 5-star matches right now between the two promotions? I believe it's AEW. I like Collision being on Saturday, and I don't care that it's getting bad ratings, and I don't care that it's losing money. It's putting on good wrestling matches on a day where there's no other wrestling show. So for me, selfishly, I love it. I came home from a NASCAR race last Saturday. I put on Collision. I watched a great 6-man tag team match, Blackpool Combat Club versus some CMLL guys. I absolutely loved it. Even Ring of Honor on Thursdays, sometimes I know it's not relevant and it might not be super profitable for Tony Khan. It gives me something to watch on Thursday. So selfishly, I like to have wrestling on every day of the week, including Saturdays when a lot of us wrestling fans watch MMA and boxing too. And usually that's on at the same time, but I like a wrestling show that I can watch. And I mean, as I watch Japanese wrestling too. So on Saturdays, sometimes that's on at like 1 a.m. It gives me something to watch in between. And the matches are great, Ben. The matches are great. You go on Cage Match, you ask Uncle Dave. It's good wrestling, regardless of whether or not it's as relevant as Dynamite. We're getting stars. So, I mean, and
the only star ratings I care about are Kobe Galanzowski's. But carry on.
That's true.
Yeah, that's Kobe's are also equally.
We capped them.
But yeah, no, I think it's just but one question I have on top of it is where is Dark? Because I think the TV deals are kind of messing with my wrestling content.
It's gone dark.
Yeah, why don't we put all this on Amazon Prime? Put Dark on Prime. I know this is like way out there, but I just want more wrestling, Ben. So I just want more 5-star matches. I don't care if it's on TV. I don't care if it makes money. I just want to see 5-star matches. So
let them wrestle.
Carter, I wish I was as positive as you. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem, eh? Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on, Clark. And let's
Coder's like,
move
wait
on.
a minute. Do we really want less wrestling? It was the best point I've heard in a while.
I don't care. No.
He was like,
I
priorities.
do. I got life. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I agree, Chaos. I do. Let's talk Elimination Chamber, eh? Couple of qualifiers on tonight in the men's division. Let's start with Kevin Owens versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Logan Paul versus The Miz. I don't think Logan Paul is losing to The Miz. I think Logan Paul is qualifying, and I have a feeling they're now doing Owens versus Logan Paul at Mania because obviously that feud's continuing, and I don't see Logan Paul losing to The Miz. So I'm guessing Kevin Owens beating Dominic Mysterio too. But Clark, what's your prediction?
I was hoping that Nick Mysterio would debut tonight and interfere in both matches personally, but to be totally honest, I feel actually bad for everybody that's in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match because the main event scene has so strongly overshadowed it in the last 2 weeks. And it should be who's going to face Seth Rollins. And I look at all 4 names and I'm like, no, I love Kevin Owens, but not this year. Dom, not ready yet. No. Logan Paul, no. Miz, no. So as far as who's going to win, Owens and Paul to have a spot in the chamber. But I mean, to me, it's The only issue with how entertaining the scene is, as far as the main event with Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Rocky Maivia, Dwayne The Rock Johnson out there rumbling around, and then Seth Rollins as the fourth. I thought we might capitalize on that. It doesn't appear to be the case. For me, it's Owens and Logan so they can get a chamber spot in to set up that match, but I still haven't figured out who's gonna face Seth. What are we doing with Seth?
I'll tell you what we're doing.
How have we
with
fumbled
him.
Seth Rollins?
I don't think we have. Night 1, he's working the tag match. Night 2, he's facing Drew McIntyre.
So we're gonna have the injured guy work twice.
Well, okay, let's get... I know I was the one first when everyone was saying, he can wrestle at
Still
Chamber,
hurt.
and I was like, no, he can't. No, he can't. I know I was the one doing exactly what everybody's doing to me now. But the guy ran in high heels on Monday. I think he's almost okay now. So I think by,
MCL
a month and a half.
have to do with lateral movement, not forward. So you should be able to run on torn both. What he can't do is plant his foot and turn another direction. And as soon as he does it, the whole thing can collapse and snap.
It's quite
every
easy
other
to do that in
ACL,
heels.
MCL, PCL, all of that. In heels, it's actually easier to run straight forward. That's why there's not a lot of turns. Yeah.
I've never tried
easier,
personally.
not literally easier. I've never walked in heels, but generally at a fashion show, the turn is the most difficult part. I've been to a fashion show, and that's true. You walk to the end of the ramp, and you have to turn around. That's not easy to do.
Ben wears
especially on torn ligaments.
Ben wears
Melissa doesn't even wear heels. Well, she's
not
got
yet,
8
'cause you
pair
stole
now,
them
I
all.
think.
Because you stole them all. That's why.
He's also got a plant. He's also got a plant and launch to do a stomp. And
yeah, I think I had a plant.
He's got to plant his foot and then launch off of that leg to hit the stomp. It's like his own move is in. It's the lateral movement that's the issue with the injury that he has. So, yes, can he walk forward? Can he run in a straight line? Does it feel uncomfortable all the time? No, right? It doesn't feel uncomfortable, I would imagine. But with that injury, it's just, it's one of those things that the idea of him working twice is so scary.
It is. No, I agree with you, Clark. I in all seriousness, I do. But in all seriousness, I also think that's what they're going to do. And I also think Roman Reigns is going to win on night 2. But everybody's calling me crazy for that.
Well, I've been saying that for ages. I think Roman's going over no matter what.
Yay! And there's chaos. There's no GIF you can play here or whatever.
Yeah, no, you're lucky.
Stupid.
Man.
Coach 23 is saying the unpredictability of WrestleMania 40 excites me. I agree completely. I'm pumped for it. Me and Anthony really went a 10-minute tangent last Saturday talking about how exciting it is. Bobby Petito saying Kevin Owens wins against Dominic Mysterio and qualifies. Meanwhile, Ignacio says they have buried the world title. Well, I'm sure we can talk about that.
Couldn't agree more.
Next week. Actually, I've just noticed Carter Crisp's lagged out, and instead we seem to have
we have a special guest.
Oh no, he's crashed the party. Well, while you're here, Carty, why don't you? I'm not going to ask you about AEW. I'm not going to. Instead, I'll ask you, what's your favorite wrestling match of all time?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. Ignacio for calling out all of the tomfoolery that's been happening on this show. You boys are making this business far more dangerous than it needs to be with all this outlaw mud show garbage. But let me tell you what the best wrestling match of all time is, and this should be obvious. You should all know this off the top of your heads. The Road Warriors versus the Midnight Express, WCW, July 1986. I was involved. I was outside of the ring with the tennis racket. Let me tell you something. I was firing up the boys against those big, evil, strong animals. It was great inside the ring work. It was great outside the ring work. There were no mouse traps. There were no thumbtacks. No one was lit on fire. Wrestling was not banned in Louisville that day. It was just good wrestling. But I could tell that Animal and Hawk, I could tell they were bad boys. So I came in there. I had to save the Midnight Express with the DQ. Now, Ben, you asked me for the best wrestling match of all time. That's the best wrestling match. I'll give you a modern one. Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, TNA Genesis 2006. Now, these are all on YouTube, just like Mr. David recommended, but a little difference between these and those is this is no outlaw mud show. This is real wrestling. Single legs, again, no mouse traps, intense wrestling inside the ring, outside the ring. Now, those are the best wrestling matches. You want to hear the worst? Jelly Janela versus John Zandig. Don't watch it. It set us back so far. I don't know if we'll ever recover. So, dude, Mr. Jelly, let me tell you something. I know you went viral, but by God, you took 18 to 16 to 17 years off your life with that off the building spot when you could have just done a little judo move. So tell me, Jelly, was that worth it? All right, that's all I have to say. Not so, thank you for standing up for the business.
The only other question of Carty Carnett is how the best wrestling match ever can end with a DQ finish.
Well, I had to come in there so the boys could keep working. I could tell the Road Warrior that the Road Warriors were dangerous. I had to get it. I mean, I had to use a gosh darn tennis racket to save the Midnight Express from injury so we could work. Again, Ben, this is all about safety. Me and Ignacio, we preach safety. And you got the Buckaroos breaking ankles. Coda's out 6 months. Nobody's safe here anymore. I'm here to fix it. When I see a match is in danger, I fix it. I'm here to fix the business, Ben.
It's outstanding.
Sting's retirement match is just going to be Carty Carnett running in for tennis rackets.
Don't get me started on
to
that.
stop the young bucks from injury.
Mud show. He's jumping on. I mean, he's jumping on coffins. He's jumping off of rafters. Jelly Janela must be telling this guy what to do. Let me tell you something. That's about the worst locker room you could be in at old age with all those kindergartners. I mean, CM Punk had to get out of there. Sorry.
Ignacio says, well, no, Coach 23 wants Tony Khan to hire you. Ignacio's said no thank you to you, but he does agree that there should be no flips, flops, dive, or somersaults.
That's what I'm talking about. Ignacio.
This ain't gymnastics.
Real wrestling. Yeah, this ain't gymnastics. This ain't the jack, whatever. This is wrestling.
Cirque du Soleil.
Single legs. Suplexes, slams. I'm not trying to see anybody get hurt. I want to see the boys work next week. Come on, Jelly.
In the words of Buzz Lightyear, I see no intelligent life here anywhere. And this is coming. And Ignacio, you're talking about no flips, flops, and dives or somersaults. Coming from someone that can't even spell the word somersault. No intelligent life. I'm done.
Chaos came with receipts.
Chaos. Get the tables.
Anyway, somebody who won't be going through any tables today is Shotzi Blackheart because she is injured. So she's out of the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, and in steps Kaylee Ray, or what she called now Alba Fire, who will be taking on Tiffany Stratton, and Naomi, who will be taking on Zelina Vega. I reckon Tiffany Stratton will be getting the win, because in the words of Shard, it's Tiffy time, and I think Naomi will be getting the win too, because, well, it's like her first match back in SmackDown, I think. Chaos, who do you think is qualifying out of these two matches?
That's the one thing I hate about qualifying matches is that the writing is on the wall. And I thought that it might be different since we're under a new regime. But yeah, like from both the men's and women's, you can just tell who's gonna go through. I also agree. Even if it was Shotzi going to beat, it was definitely going to be Tiffany Stratton because she's one of the new signees in SmackDown, and she, to be fair, in my opinion, she needs to be better she needs to put a better impression than she did in her first match against, was it Michin last week? For me,
I thought she was great.
There was some sloppy moments, and then even the finish, she overshot the moonsault, and it didn't look nice. So yeah, she needs to make a more impressive impression, a better impression for it to be a viable threat in the chamber, even though I do still think it's going to be Lynch that's going to win. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton for that one, and of course Naomi against Zelina Vega. Even though it's so frustrating that I feel like they dropped the ball with Zelina Vega, especially with her match last year in Backlash, and the momentum going into that, it's been great. And then ever since then, she's just been locked down with LWO as just being there. But yeah, I still feel she could still be up there challenging for the title again. But so yeah, it's a bit annoying with the stop and start situation. But yeah, definitely Naomi. She has enough momentum. Great showing at the Royal Rumble. She never lost it. Obviously, she was great in TNA. Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. Yeah, I think they'll put a good show in, especially Tiffany Stratton. Even though I don't think she's going to win, I think she's going to be one of the very standouts in the Elimination Chamber match. So yeah, Stratton and Naomi for me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you are right. These matches are quite predictable. I just maybe could see them going with a swerve for them in the men's if perhaps Logan Paul costs Kevin Owens early in the night and then Kevin Owens does it back. But that's the only chance. But as for the women's, you're bang on. It's just super predictable. It really, really is. But let's just jump straight into the main event of this show, which I presume will be the main event of the evening on SmackDown as well, because for the first time ever on Friday Night SmackDown, Roman Reigns and The Rock will be in the ring together. Now, I know this storyline, it's had some issues, right? But tonight, I'm so excited for it. I mean, imagine taking The Rock and Reigns being in the same ring for granted. Genuinely, I'm hyped for it, but the question is, where is this going to go? I said it earlier in the show. I said on Take It to the Table yesterday. I think night one of WrestleMania, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes defeat Roman Reigns and The Rock, with Cody Rhodes pinning Roman Reigns. And then, night two, Roman Reigns will pin Cody Rhodes to retain the championship, unfortunately, and that will be all The Rock is doing. I know it's controversial, I know, but that's what I think. But Chaos, what do you think is going to happen tonight? Do you think they're going to set up for a tag match, or maybe could The Rock be entering himself into the Elimination Chamber?
First off, regarding your prediction, again, no intelligent life anywhere. Anyway,
he'll be having no hair soon as well. I'm excited.
We'll see if that happens. Oh boy, that'll be.
It's not that bad, dude. They make great hats these days.
That's not the point. This is like my thing. This is my gimmick.
You got great hair.
Oh, I respect it. This is the last thing people even remember me by. Anyway, regarding the what's going to happen. So obviously before, I think it was a couple of days ago. Rock said, obviously, get ready. I'm going to be there on Friday. And then shortly after that, Roman Reigns said he's got a big announcement to he went TK on us. He's got a big announcement on Friday. So yeah, that would be interesting. My prediction is they're going to get in the ring. They're going to say, like, not only does The Rock join the bloodline, but Roman Reigns is going to personally hand over his beads and give it to The Rock. Rock is the new tribal chief. He's the new head honcho. Definitely. And I'm chatting out my own ass. But no. But yeah, definitely it's it could go either way. I think that the best thing about it, I'd rather go in this with a clean head and just see where they're gonna go, because that, like you said earlier on, the unpredictability is on this for WrestleMania is we haven't had this in years. And yeah, this could go either way. I mean, they could probably try and put a protest saying we're not gonna be at Mania. Roman Reigns is not gonna defend it, or they might try and throw the gauntlet. Announce they're gonna want to face Cody and Seth at Mania. Yeah, or something along those lines. Either way, it's gonna be electric. Heel Rock is the best Rock, and yeah, I want to see him coming out there with the fanny pack and and just laying the smack down on anybody that tries to get in the bloodline way. But I think at least, the very least, I think The Rock is going to officially join the bloodline, and then you're gonna see probably
Wow.
eventually a power struggle. I feel so. That's I think that's what's definitely gonna happen some way.
I agree with the power struggle, but I mean, I don't think we're going to see Roman Reigns handing over that crown. I think they're going to both claim that they,
Oh, yeah.
that they own it. Coach 23 saying The Rock, to be fair, he's really a high chief in their family tree.
Oh, yeah,
Roman is
100%.
make believe.
Yeah, I hope. I'm not saying that they should do it 100% because that will just undo everything that Roman Reigns has done over the past 3 years. So definitely, I'm just totally joking about him handing over the apart. Excuse me for me not knowing, but obviously the I'm going to call it beads right now, or the hot chili peppers. And then
Okay, that was funny.
Nice.
California.
and then yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Ignacio saying that was an uncalled for attack. Chaos. He's going to be talking to HR. He's going to be contacting Clark about it. And apparently your eyebrow is on the line as well. That wasn't in the bet.
Wow.
So that
Whoa,
wasn't in
no,
the bet,
that
Ignacio.
seems unfair.
Wow.
Imagine. Oh my goodness. I would look like, we gotta keep it PG here. Yeah, leave it. I'm gonna leave it out there. But yeah, that'll be hilarious.
I was gonna say Charlie Villanueva.
Carter, you managed to kick your cousin out the room. You're back. But
Hey,
what will be happening with Reigns and Rock tonight?
Well, Ben, it's not at a rec center in Reseda, so I don't know if I'm going to be right on this one. That was a PWG reference for anyone that. I honestly thought that Cody. I legit. This is my thought, and just remember, I'm an AEW guy, so I'm warning you early. I thought that Cody was going to unify the titles, and that it was so messy that they're just ad-libbing. So I have no ideas, but my prediction is The Rock gets the chili peppers as well. The Chili Peppers go on The Rock. They have a tag team title, and I do think Cody is going to take that belt off of Reigns, but I thought the initial plan was for Cody to win the title off of Rollins, then unify the titles, and then have Rock lose to Roman. Sorry, a lot of R names. But yeah, that's my prediction. But just remember, I'm a PWG guy, Outlaw Mud Show guy. What do I know about real wrestling?
Californication.
So it's made. So they're seeds from a tree, right? That's what they are, and it's called the Ula Fala, right?
that's the
Probably
one.
mispronounced it, but yeah.
Those are the
I thought we should probably get that out there, considering we're calling it the Chili Peppers. But
I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers, by the way, to be clear.
great band.
Longtime fan.
Oh yeah, 100 legendary. Legend.
But Clark, what about
Dream
you?
of
Rock, Reigns,
California.
all the R words. Who's winning?
Oh, dude,
not
I
winning.
was
What's
so
happening?
ready for this, and I cannot wait to bug everybody about this. The Rock and Roman Reigns tonight are going to tell Cody's story better than he has in the last year and a half by themselves. They're going to make this a family thing. His little cute entrance music with, oh, yeah, there's more than one royal family. Well, when The Rock joins forces and he gets the laid over his shoulders by Roman Reigns, the two of them joining forces to represent the bloodline and make it clear that there is only one royal family, and it's run by Roman. Even The Rock, he's on his books. I'm hoping we get something as good as the classic old NWO spot where The Rock gets in his face for a second. Roman rips the shirt. Bloodline. It's a picture of them two together, shaking hands. Big old handshake. I cannot wait. Because Cody will be shaking in his boots by the end of it. Concerned. Could be a 2-on-1 special. Because that title's not leaving the bloodline at Mania. There's no chance. We'll finish that story when we finally get to it, or somebody tells it, or maybe it takes The Rock and Roman to tell it. But I think that's what we're finally getting, and I'm hoping for that. I don't know about Cody winning at Mania, but Rock and Roman can tell this story clearly better than Cody has to this point.
Clark, come on now. Cody has been telling his story for like 18 months at least.
No, he was playing touch butt in the park with Brock Lesnar in the middle of last summer.
Sorry.
Name censored. But on that note, guys, we've got
Sorry, that was a
we got
Nick Hughes
Jason
quote.
in the comments. Shout out to Jason. Coach 23 is saying, we're
Shout out,
feeling
Coach. I'm
heelish.
joking around. Honestly, in all seriousness, I do, though, hope that they pair up and it bugs everybody. I really hope that they do something where it's like the ultimate stack the deck against Cody, get the story across. Those are my real thoughts, to be honest.
Well, on that note, it's time to wrap up the show. Thank you to Clark. Thank you to Chaos. Thank you to Carter for joining me here today. Please like, subscribe on YouTube. Wherever you're listening to it, please support us. A cheeky 5 stars on Spotify. You guys know it makes my day. Also, if you haven't already and you feel hungry for more content from us here at Wrestling Republic, make sure you guys go and check out Take It to the Table, which was uploaded yesterday, where we discuss about Rock, Roman, Seth, Cody in a lot more detail. And boy, oh boy, did it get heated. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about Friday Night SmackDown. Enjoy your Friday evening, people. Thank you, and good